Special relativity simply defines the relationship between space and time. The equation E equals mc squared simply tells us that mass is a measure of energy, similar to how we use inches to measure length. This simple notion is perhaps the biggest breakthrough in modern science. The theory of relativity relates to science and inspired many innovations. An example of these inventions are the GPS, atomic bomb, and nuclear power plants. These inventions can't be made without taking relativity into consideration. It also proved the existence of black holes and showed that interstellar and time travel is a viable possibility in the future. But what is beyond the center of the black hole is still a mystery to the world.
The equation E equals mc squared dictates that massive amounts of energy can be produced by fission, the splitting of atoms. This can be used for nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is an asset to society because it is renewable, cheap to run, and is a good alternative for the future. It is also efficient and extremely powerful, as a pound of uranium can produce 16,000 times more electricity than a pound of coal. On the other hand, it can release dangerous radioactive waste. Accidents regarding nuclear plants can be lethal and delegate an entire area to desolate wasteland, like what happened in Chernobyl and Fukushima. Nuclear energy also takes up massive amounts of water, which complicates the lack of water in today's rapidly growing population. Nuclear energy is the perfect example of an advantage and a detriment.
The GPS satellites surprisingly rely on principles of relativity. Relativity tells us that clocks in motion tick slowly, which is known as time dilation. Since satellites are in rapid motion above the Earth, clocks tend to tick slower. Satellite signals need to be emitted at a precise time in order to be accurately determined by the GPS device. So these satellites must take relativity into consideration.
Atom bomb.
Chiefest and greatest of calamities.
Do you think flattery will keep you alive?
Destruction has found its new name, the atomic bomb. Unlike smog, it's made from plutonium and uranium. Similar to nuclear power plants, bombs split atoms to gain energy through fission. The only difference is that the bomb uses fission for destructive purposes. Many governments and people are taking initiatives to stop using atomic bombs in warfare.
We have built a weapon that can kill us all, but what about things we can build in the future? The most promising things that can occur in the future are interstellar and time travel. It all started when Einstein and Nathan Rosen came up with a theory that stated any two black holes in this universe are connected through wormholes that are located in space-time. But we would be snapped in half until it reached a theoretical point known as singularity if we tried to travel through them. But due to recent findings, interstellar time travel is still viable. It would be revolutionary if it was made.
Now we shall drive over to the professor so the tech boys can ask him a couple of questions.
Hello, Professor. We just want to ask you a few questions about Albert Einstein and his famous theory of relativity. So let's begin. First of all, what would you improve or disprove upon his popular theory?
Well, his theory cannot be disproven. It was actually proven correct. However, I think I'd improve upon Albert Einstein's decisions. If I were him, I would have paid more attention to ethical issues. I would have stalled and not informed the world that there was a possibility of a bomb to be created. That way I could have saved many lives in Japan, since I would essentially cause the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings to not occur.
Okay. Next question. Do you foresee any uses in the future for the theory of relativity?
Well, if I have to come up with one, it would be revolutionary. It took many years for people to innovate inventions related to relativity. But maybe in the far future we could develop a time machine or a wormhole, since relativity tells us that time and interstellar travel is viable. We can also make nuclear energy more widespread, since so poor countries could use nuclear energy. This is the best option since nuclear energy is cheap to run and can answer short-term needs.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to meet with you.
So, is the theory of special relativity a blessing or a curse? Actually, we believe it is both. It could guide us, power us, or kill us all. Even though the fact that technology sometimes becomes a hindrance, it is also the main gear that propels our world into the land unknown. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and we will see you soon.